Well, we fell in love with Mel B as the outrageous, confident and vivacious Scary Spice, but little did the world know that behind the scenes she was living in fear.
Since making it big, her life has moved at breakneck speed with no shortage of scandalous headlines. Now she's coming clean and nothing is off limits. She became famous for promoting girl power, but for a decade, Mel B was a girl powerless.
This time, you gotta take it easy, throwing far too much emotions at me.
She opens up about the torment in her new book, Brutally Honest.
I was with the same person for 10 years, and it was quite a turmoil, very intense. That's all I can say about it.
From an abusive marriage...
I do not cook.
No, she does not. She can burn water.
...to a suicide attempt. And her love affair with superstar comedian Eddie Murphy. Not to mention life on the road as a Spice Girl.
Well, we searched for her in the hotel and we couldn't find her. And she'd got herself on a flight and headed back to England.
But despite the darkness of her life, Mel B's biography is also filled with light.
You have got to give, taking is too easy, but that's the way it is.
It's a story about a woman only now realising her own strength.
Hey, you, always on the run, gotta slow it down, baby, gotta have some fun.
And Mel B joins us now from London. Mel B, good to see you again.
Hi, guys. How are you lot?
This book is incredible. It absolutely strips you bare. Were you scared about how it would be received?
I mean, of course I was, because I've lived such a lie within my marriage for 10 years. But thankfully, I had my work that pulled me through it. And I'm now on a mission to educate people of exactly what an abusive relationship is all about, because most women don't even know, or they're too embarrassed to admit they're in an abusive relationship. So it's good times. I mean, I'm one of the lucky ones. I got out alive, and Spice Girls are going back on tour next year.
Mel, this is what I think is so important, particularly for this current generation of teenagers, young people. From the outside, you seem to have it all, what a lot of people think is having it all. Money, fame, a huge career. Talk us through what life was really like during those big days behind the scenes.
I mean, I had my life on TV and my career, which I love and I'm very thankful for. And then I had my life behind closed doors with my monster of an ex-husband, which was then my husband for 10 years, who I loved and who I adored. And I was in a very coercive, very abusive marriage and relationship. And I don't understand why I stayed so long. Now I do understand, because I've gotten out. And it was very difficult, and I suffered a lot. And I now know that many women have gone through this and that are still going through this, that need a voice, that need to be able to talk about it. So I'm glad that by me talking about it, I can help other women and also help myself in the process.
What gave you the courage to leave?
Well, it's quite dramatic, actually, because my dad died of cancer. He suffered from cancer for many years. And the day that he died, I said to myself, I can't live this lie anymore. I just can't. I want to go back to LA and divorce this man and take care of myself properly, and number one, take care of my kids. And that's exactly what I did. And it's been nearly 2 years that I've been separated from him, and it's taken me this long to even talk about it and this long to actually admit it.
So do you feel like during those days, during your marriage, you were acting because you'd go home to one situation, but then when you were on in public, you had to go into another space of the Mel B that everybody wants to see, that's up and fun and having life as a party? So was it a sort of a double life, like an act?
I mean, kind of, to put it bluntly, but my work, like I said, was my saviour, because I could get to just be me and have my personality in full flourish, because my then husband wasn't around me when I was working. But it was what I went home to, which was him and the abuse that I was so embarrassed about, and I felt so ashamed, and I felt very guilty, and I didn't want to admit it to anybody, and I didn't want to tell anybody. That's why I didn't leave sooner, and that's why I'm glad I left, and I'm able to talk about it now in more of an educational way. Yeah.
Because we interviewed you both together here on Sunrise, and you know we're just remembering.
I actually do remember that day. I remember that day because it was a thing that he said that we had to be interviewed together. And this was my work and my area. I mean, he's never really worked a day in his life, and he's never really been savvy to the entertainment world or respected in that way. So he was infringing on my career and my work. And I do remember that day vividly, like I just said, where I was forced to have an interview with him. You guys didn't know, but I knew.
No, because we were just thinking back to it.
But you know, Mel, look,
aren't they happy?
Yeah, well, and that, but
Yes.
you do think that, you know, because that's what you were showing.
Yeah, but a lot of women
the
in
world.
my position as in that kind of relationship, that's what you become very good at, is making sure that nobody knows or nobody has any idea of the abuse, and you want to make sure it all appears to be happy families. And also, for you as a woman, you married somebody who you're in love with. You do want to make the marriage work, but you don't realise how bad of a situation you're in until you get out almost.
Mel, we completely applaud you, not only for getting out of it, but for speaking about it now. I think it's very brave. Good on you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
really cathartic.
There'll be a lot of women, ordinary, everyday women, who really relate to that scenario.
Let's look ahead, though, into the future. A Spice Girls reunion. Are you coming to Australia?
Well, right now we've just got London, UK dates. But you know me, I'm always the one saying we're going to get back together, we're going on a world tour, and Victoria's going to join us. So I'm always in hopes that Victoria's going to join us, even though she has given us her blessing and she's not joining us on the dates that are already set in the UK. But I mean, my plan is we do a world tour and she's with us. So yes, we will be coming to Australia. Everyone's going to kill me for saying that.
Oh yeah, exactly. Mel, we'll take your word for it. Thank you for coming on. I know you were exhausted the other day and you didn't make us.
I really want to apologise about that. You have to understand, this is the first time I'm actually talking about it. So it's kind of traumatic and I'm reliving everything.
We totally
Thank you for being
understand.
understanding.
No, we totally get it. So thank you for coming back
mate,
on.
Good to see you again. All right, Mel B's new book, Brutally Honest, is out now, and let me tell you, it is brutally honest.